What's up guys, it's Cal, and in this video I'm going to show you all how to defeat the mage tower boss known as Archmage Xylem. And this is going to be from the perspective of a survival hunter. Before I go over how to do the fight, I want to start off with some preparation. Now first off, Frost Death Knights, Havoc Demon Hunters, Survival Hunters, Sub Rogues, and Arms Warriors will all have this challenge. Now I don't main survival, so my weapon wasn't a high level at all. The item level of it was 914, my relics are really bad in it, and the artifact level itself is 53. My item level though was 932, so I did overgear it just a bit, which made it that much easier. Now as far as consumables, I used an agility flask, prolonged power potions. You'll actually be able to use 3 of them during the fight, and then use food appropriate for your class and spec. I just use a Jari salad for the haste, but you can use a feast of course for your main stat if you want. For my legendaries, I didn't have any problem with health really, since you'll be able to use exhilaration multiple times throughout the fight due to how many enemies you kill and the hunter's bounty trait on your weapon. So I used the Call of the Wild bracers, which essentially made my aspect of the eagle have a 1-minute cooldown, and I used Soul of the Huntmaster ring, which gave me the Serpent talent. Sephuz's secret isn't a bad one either, if you do want to try that one. Now for my talents, I picked Way of the Machnathal, Mortal Wounds, Disengage, Caltrops, Camouflage, Butchery, and as I mentioned, my ring gave me Serpent Sting. If you do use Sephuz instead of the Soul of the Huntsmaster ring, still pick Butchery because it's important, and then I use Spitting Cobra. And then for my pet, I used a Netherite because it has Hero. If you're not a hunter, then make sure you bring some drums with you. I mean, they might help. Now let's talk about the fight. So this fight has a few phases to it. You're fighting this guy who has like 140 million health I think, and then another thing after this guy, which is 80 something million. So we're gonna eat our food now. Obviously eat your food before the fight, and throw down an explosive trap before the encounter starts so then it can be armed. And then right when the extra text pops up in the middle of the screen, use a prolonged potion so it's before the fight, so you get that extra DPS. So there's the text now, use your prolonged power potion, and then the fight starts. So he's using frost bolts. Make sure your pet has growl on so he's soaking up a lot of the damage. You don't have to interrupt the frost bolts, but you can if you want. It's not really required. So just in a minute there will be ice that falls down from the ceiling. Use your butchery to destroy the ice, and then you need to immediately disengage out of that platform. And then use exhilarate, because whenever that happens, your exhilarate will be off cooldown because of your hunter's bounty, whatever it's called. Now those purple beams across the center of the room, they do hurt you if you go through them, but not a whole lot of damage. It's like 480 a tick, 480k a tick. So keep that in mind. You can harpoon through them. That's what I've been doing. Then here's another phase of those icicles. Immediately disengage out of there, and then I harpoon to him for the extra harpoon damage. And then try to keep caltrops on him for the extra damage. Use your lacerate. You know your rotation. I don't main survival, so I shouldn't need to tell you. So those ice spears that you have to DPS down, he does stun you for like a second and a half. If you are a Death Knight and you use anti-magic shell right before he stuns you, if you figure out how to time it just right, he actually won't stun you. So there's a little tip right there. There they were just again. Immediately disengage out of there, and yeah, as you just saw, I harpooned right through that purple stuff, and I don't even know if it hurt me at all. Now you definitely don't want to go through the middle because you'll get hit by all 4 beams at the same time. So those ice spears also as well, if you touch any of them, you will almost die. They do a whole lot of damage, so don't touch any of them. So this frost phase goes on for a bit, and here is the second phase, the intermission phase I guess. So what you want to do is you want to immediately kill one of the images and then stand in the bubble. That bubble will heal you. You then want to determine where he is by the glitter you see there, and you want to maneuver your way that way. So target an image near that location. I would send my pet at that image, and then I would use harpoon and then flanking strikes to immediately kill that image, so you stay in the bubble. And then use a flare or some AoE like Death and Decay for a demon hunter, so he becomes, I guess, unstealthed. And then this is the shadow phase. He'll use his arcane barrage, which will just summon a bunch of these purple orbs that fly towards your location. Dodge all of them. If one of them hits you, doesn't kill you, but it does do a lot of damage. Now he's going to do this draw power. Immediately interrupt that, because if you don't, his damage will be increased by 10% and it just keeps stacking up. So you want to interrupt that immediately. He's then going to teleport to the opposite end of the room just then, and I am making my way over there. I'm making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past him homebound, and I'm dodging the purple lasers that go through the middle because they do extra damage to you. Interrupt that, draw power again. I believe that's his last one he does. You definitely want to make sure you interrupt that. So soon he's going to teleport to the, oh okay, well here's the mirror image phase. Do the same thing as before. I see the glimmer over there. I'm setting my pet to this mirror image, harpooning, flanking strikes, stay in the bubble. If you leave the bubble, you take a whole lot of damage. so you don't want to do that. And I'm going to shoot my flare over to him, harpoon, and caltrops. And then here's the arcane barrage once again. So dodge all those orbs. I think, do I get hit by one of them here? I forget. No, I don't think I do. I think I was good this attempt. Yeah, I missed all of them. And then the fight pretty much just repeats until he hits 10% health. So here's the ice again. Butchery to get out of that. And then I disengaged out of it. Aspect of the cheetah to run all the way over here, and then harpoon. And rinse and repeats until he reaches, it's like 10% health. So I'm just going to let the video play out until we get to that 10% mark. So here we are, the final phase. At this point you get some breathing room. You'll lose combat in just a minute, so if you need to heal up, use camouflage because that does heal you, and your potions will come up in a minute. So throw in an explosive trap right where he's channeling that thing to the iris, and this giant shadow elemental void comes out. And this is the guy you have to kill for completing this challenge. So when he starts up here attacking like normal, now there's just two things you have to worry about with this guy. First off, well, you want to use hero first off. He's going to put this purple crap on the ground. You do not want to stand in that. It's fine if he stands in it because he does have a very large hitbox, but you 100% do not want to. It does a ton of damage to you. So he's going to, in just a minute, just cut him around the room. He's going to cast this thing on you. Do not interrupt that. You 100% do not want to interrupt that, or else rip, it's over. Run as far away as you can, throw down caltrops, and these ads will spawn. You need to kill these ads. You really need to kill them. So caltrops does slow them down. Wing clip will slow them down individually as well, but make sure they die because if they reach them, they heal them for a ton of health. Make sure you keep doing caltrops on cooldown so then they stay slowed. They need to stay slowed. So just killing this last one here. He almost gets away, but my crits were pretty good. And that's really it. You just rinse and repeat that. So he's going to throw down some more purple crap right there. I throw down a caltrops on him just for the extra damage. Caltrops does have a short cooldown. So keep blast right up. Use your mongoose bites when you want. Flaking strikes does a lot of damage and all that stuff. So yeah, he's going to cast the thing on me once more in just a second. Soon. It's happening soon. There it is. Run as far away as you can because you want them to travel a long distance before they reach him. Here they are. Throw down the caltrops. That's super important. Like every single time I would wipe on this guy was because I wasn't caltropsing on cooldown. So you need to make sure they stay slowed. They almost get away from me here, but my crits are just super lucky here. My flanking strikes, all that stuff. And yeah, also make sure throughout the fight you are using Raptor Strike because you do have the Way of the Machinathal talented. So that's the entire fight. And there you have it. He is dead. And that is the entire challenge. Your screen goes white, and Xylem is, I guess, no longer corrupted. And there you go. You get the extra, whatever it's called, skin. But first off, he has some RP to tell you. I didn't really read it, so you can go ahead and do that now if you want. I was just super happy that I finished it. It actually didn't take me that long because I did have a 932 item level. But, yeah. Just porting here. Oh yeah, I think he takes you to Ajara. to his tower. And he is an Archmage, but he's not kind enough to give you a portal to Dalaran when you need it. So you will have to use your Dalaran Hearth. And then you just go to the Council of the 6, well I guess Council of the 5 now, turn it into Caligos, and you raise your weapon in front of them. And that is what the survival weapon, special secret, whatever its appearance looks like. It's more planty, nature themed. I like it, it actually looks pretty nice. And that is the entire challenge. And that was also my last one, so my third spec. So I got that achievement. That's pretty nice. And right here in a second I'm going to show you a close-up of what it looks like. There it is. So I hope this video is helpful to you guys. If it was, you can leave a like on it. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video.